Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Welcome back to your daily dose. Look, just know I haven't forgot about y'all. I've been very busy doing a lot of overtime and stuff like that at my job, and a lot's been going on. I also have a job interview with another job next week. Pretty excited for that. Finna start working two jobs again. I want to talk about mental health and why I feel it's so important, and very it's a very strong foundation that you must build. We don't check in with ourselves, you know. We don't ask ourselves, how are we feeling? How you doing today? Sometimes you have to have these inner conversations with yourself. You have to journal. You have to write down how you feel. Because in all honesty, we're always worried about either working, we're worried about, how our kids are doing, we're worried about, family, we worried about everybody else and everything else except ourselves. And, I don't have children, and I'm pretty sure some of you do have children. And I'm not saying care any less for your children, absolutely not. But your mental health comes first, okay? It's really important to really check in with yourself, you know, and be able to really um, get to the bottom of why you're feeling the way you're feeling. See, one thing about me is I don't really talk too much about mental health as I should. And as a recovery counselor, the things that I see on an everyday basis, and from me being a patient in the mental hospital, I've noticed that a lot of people with mental illnesses are treated a certain way and they shouldn't be. Whether you have, if that is, you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with bipolar disorder, if you're dealing with Tourette's, if you're dealing with ADHD, ADD, if you're dealing with anxiety, a lot of people will look at you a certain way and they may judge you. Even if you have what else is that? It's on the top of my head, baby. It is on the top of my head. There's severe mental illnesses as well. It's on the top of my head. I can't think of it. But a lot of people like look at people with mental illnesses and they look at them like, oh, they're this and they're that, and they try to judge them. And I want to talk to the people who are dealing with these type of, disabilities. I want to talk to you guys. You're not alone, okay? Um, I care a lot about my clients. I care a lot about the people that I work with. I care a lot about people in general. That's just how I am, you know? I like to do a mental health check in. I like to ask people, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Because sometimes not everybody asks you how you feeling. You never know what somebody is going through. And, I want to tell you guys this. If your mental health is not doing good, then you're not going to be able to or even want to have the motivation to manifest the things that you want, because you're the way you're feeling about yourself. You're not alone, okay? And I feel like mental health should be really, really pushed out into the world where people know and understand what mental health is. They understand what mental disabilities is. They understand how it is for people to deal with them. No, you may not have schizophrenia, but you don't know how that person feels or what they're going through. I'm not excusing anyone's actions. I'm not. But what I'm saying is, you don't know what a person is going through, especially when they're dealing with depression, especially when they feel hopeless. They feel like nothing is working in their life. And no matter what you say, no matter even if the sun shines, they still don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? So if you know somebody who is close to you that may be dealing with depression, you know, try to allow them to vent. You know what I'm saying? Or even yourself. If you're dealing with depression, just know that you are not your mental illness. You are not depression. You are not bipolar disorder. You are not schizophrenia. You are not any of those things. But these are things that you feel. Now, I'm going to tell you right now. I feel like a lot of people, especially in our Black community, they don't pay attention to mental health, like mental disabilities, because my family doesn't believe in that. I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder at the age of 24, okay? Bipolar disorder as well. So these were things that I was diagnosed with. And I know that a lot of people will say, oh, you can manifest this and manifest that to go away. Let me tell you something. The way that I deal with my mental health and the way that I deal with my disabilities, I don't deal with it as thinking that I could just manifest it away, okay? That's not how I deal with it. No. I turn to different alternatives that are going to make me happy. I check in with myself. And most of the time, we have these mental illnesses because of certain trauma that we've experienced in our lives. And that's something that people need to start realizing. It's due to a lot of traumatic experiences. And sometimes it can be passed down from the first generation. Okay, it can probably skip a few generations, and then next thing you know, boom, you're diagnosed with it. Okay, and I don't want you guys thinking that I'm trying to promote you to take medication and all this other stuff. No, but what I am trying to say is I do want to definitely talk about the ones that a lot of us deal with, which is depression and anxiety. You have to really have these inner conversations with yourself. You have to really have a one-on-one with yourself, you know? Sometimes when we start feeling a certain way, we start thinking, like, for example, with depression, when we start feeling hopeless, we start feeling sadness, we start feeling like we're not good enough or people don't love us and all these things. Why do we feel the way that we feel? You know, write down those feelings, be able to get in tune with those feelings, with those emotions as well. Do not put your feelings and emotions under a rug. Do not sweep it away. You don't want to do that. You want to address it, whether that's you getting therapy, going to group therapy, or going to one-on-one therapy, or you meditating, doing something that's going to help you. Because a lot of people, when they do have mental illnesses, they turn to other things. When people have experienced a lot of traumatic, like they've experienced trauma in their lives, they turn to, some people turn to alcohol, some people turn to drugs, you know, and you don't want to do that. You want to be able to, whatever you believe in, if you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, you want to be able to talk to the higher, your higher self, or you want to talk to God about it. Or if you don't want to do that, then, journal out how you feel. Always do a mental health check-in, because your mental health is really important. It is the foundation of your spiritual health. That's how I feel, because mental health is with you thinking a certain kind of way about yourself is going to lead you to feel a certain kind of way about yourself. Then it's going to lead you to do things. Your actions are then going to portray that what you're thinking, because it's like, and subconsciously we act a certain way because we're still stuck in the past. We're still stuck in where we were when you have anxiety. Sometimes I like to look at it as this: when people have anxiety, maybe you might not be feeling safe. Maybe you have to affirm to yourself, I am safe. Nothing is going to hurt me. Nothing is here to harm me. I'm safe. I am protected. Sometimes you have to, really go back and remind yourself that everything is okay. And when you are experiencing depression or sadness or whatever you're going through, and you're feeling that, allow yourself to feel it. Don't dwell in it, but take time out. Don't isolate yourself either, because isolation it's not good to isolate yourself either. Go and vent to someone that you really trust, that will listen to you. Because sometimes when people are dealing with depression, and when people are dealing with anxiety, or they're dealing with, if they're having manic episodes, things of that nature, well, I don't want to say that's a little different, but when they are dealing with, when they're not feeling like themselves, sometimes people don't want you, to give advice. Sometimes they want you to, they just want to vent to you. They just want someone that's going to listen, and hear them out. So definitely remember that your mental health is really important. So check in with yourself and ask yourself, how are you feeling? And if you're not feeling good, then that's totally fine, because some days are not going to be good. Some days are going to be bad. There's going to be some days where you're sad. There's going to be things that are going to happen in your life that may lead you to feeling a certain kind of way. And I also do want to start talking, I do want to say this too, for people who I'm gonna let you know this now.